Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Okay, my presentation title is A Tale of Three Women. January 11, 2020, that's a big day for three important people in Taiwan. Do you know what that is? Presidential election. How many of you are eligible for this election? Okay, some of you. Okay, do you know what is the age of voting in Taiwan? 20. Okay, 20. 20 is also the age of majority. What is that? Age of majority? Everyone? The threshold of adulthood. It means that okay, and of course, this right includes your autonomy for sexual autonomy. What is sexual autonomy, everyone? Consent to engage in sexual activity. So, do you know what is the age of consent in Taiwan? 18? 16. Yes, 16. Usually, when two adults consent to be in a sexual activity, in most of the situation, it means that there's some kind of loving and trusting relationship between the two parties, like that in a married couple. And I know that most of you are too young to be in a marital relationship yet. But just imagine that find out your loving spouse is sleeping with a third person. How do you feel? Philip, are you happy? You're smiling. How will you feel? Are you supposed to be angry, upset? You are very upset. Do you think that the cheating party, do they deserve some kind of punishment? I have three choices for you. Number one, no punishment at all. That means you respect their sexual autonomy. That's their choice. They are adult. Number two, some kind of punishment. For example, financial compensation for your broken heart. Number three, a very severe one. Besides the financial compensation for your broken heart, they should also go to jail. So go to jail, that means adultery is a crime. They commit a crime, so they go to jail. So how many of you choose number one for the cheating party? Number one? Two? Number two? Some kind of punishment? Number three, severe one? Wow, some of you. Thank you. So we have different voices. That's good. So whether adultery should be considered as a crime is a debatable issue in most society around the world. For those society who see adultery as a crime, they are for criminalization of adultery. And for those people who don't think adultery is a reasonable punishment, that means they are for decriminalization of adultery. Do you know what is the situation in your own country? How about Czech? No idea. Vietnam? No idea. Ines? A lot of advantages. So, okay. Okay, thank you. So some kind of financial compensation. How about in Taiwan? Is adultery a crime or not? No, not a crime. Okay, let's see the situation. Okay, those countries who see adultery as a crime are the minority. They include most of the Islamic countries, North Korea, Philippines, India, and Taiwan. So that means Vietnam, in Vietnam, Czech, and Tunisia, it's not a crime. Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. So, only in this country, adultery is a crime. So in my presentation today, I'm going to tell you the story of three women. May, June, and Lan to show you the debating issue about adultery in Taiwan. Okay, the first story about May. After May got graduated from college, she she went for matchmaking and got married, has 2 children. And at age 40, she decided to find a job. Okay, and that's when she met Min, and they fell in love and had an affair. And May's husband was very upset. He's extremely angry because he's unwilling to be a cuckold. Okay, so he paid a private detective to collect evidence of her infidelity. What does that mean? That means caught the couple cheating in bed with a camera. And then with the evidence, he decided to take legal action against May's infidelity. And as a result, May and Min went to jail for 1 year. And May also lost her custody for her 2 children. Are you happy with this? Think about this. May and Min are deeply in love, and sex is the way they express their love. Does this really make them criminal? Yes. In Taiwan, according to the Criminal Code 239, it says that marriage and family are the cornerstone of society. And if affection even affection no longer exists between the husband and the wife, the marriage itself should be protected by the law. So the logic behind this is no one likes to go to jail. So to avoid going to jail, then no one will commit adultery. So everyone will be faithful for their marriage. That way, it will ensure the harmony of marriage, family, and society. This is the first reason to see adultery as a crime. Okay, now the second story, June and Lan. Okay, June has 2 kids, and after she graduated, she decided to stay in the house to bring up the 2 kids and be a full-time housewife. So that way, her husband can focus on developing his own career. Okay, so she doesn't have any job and no money. Okay, but then 10 years later, the husband became a successful businessman and he fell in love with his secretary, Lan. So what is Lan? That's the same old story, isn't it? Okay, well, who is Lan? She's a young, fresh graduate from college. And June's husband took advantage of her naivety and inexperience. So she was easily cajoled into the relationship with her boss and developed an affair. And of course, June was heartbroken, right? So she thought about getting a divorce. But then she doesn't have any money or property. So she was not sure if she can support herself, her livelihood after the divorce. So she consulted with a lawyer and then she decided that she's going to caught them cheating in bed. Why did she want to do that? Because according to the civil code in Taiwan, if June proved that her husband committed adultery, then the June can petition, demand for a divorce and half of her husband's property and money, and plus monthly alimony. So, by seeing adultery as a crime, it will protect economically disadvantaged women like June. So that's the second reason for, so this is the second reason for the criminalization of adultery. But now, at this point, June's husband just realized that he's going to lose a lot if his wife really take the legal action. So, what will her husband do to save his money and property? 3 choices for you. beg June to forgive him. Number 2, blame the affair on Lan, saying that she's the one to seduce him. Or both. What do you think? Number 1, number 2, number 3? Yes, the husband chose both. So, how does the wife respond to his begging? Number 1, forgive both her husband and Lan. Number 2, forgive her husband but insist on suing Lan. Which one? Number 1, raise your hand. Number 2, yes, most wives forgive their husband but sue the third woman, the other woman. Okay, as a consequence, poor Lan, she not only paid the compensation for June, but she also got jailed for 1 year. And she may not able to find any job because with the criminal stain on her record. So far, we see the 2 reasons for criminalization of adultery. Number 1, to secure the harmony in marriage. Number 2, to protect economically disadvantaged women like June. Now, let's think about this. What makes a marriage long-lasting? The law or the love between the couple? What do you think? Money? Good, money. If you don't have the money, which one? Law? Love? Okay, some for love and some for law. Let's see what happened in Taiwan. Taiwan's divorce rate in 2015 is the second high around the world. And why? What caused the divorce? Actual marital affair is the primary reason. So that says law does not secure the marriage. So that's the first reason for decriminalization of adultery. Okay, now the next question for you. Think about the 3 parties. Who is most likely or least likely to be sued for an adultery? The cheating wife, the cheating husband, or the other woman? Among the 3, which one is least likely to be sued? 1, 2, 3. Number 1, raise your hand. Number 2. Number 3. Wow, we have different voice. Which one is most likely to be sued? Most likely one. Can you just say your choice? The other woman? Okay, according to the study, it says that 77% of the cheating wife will be sued by their husband because no man wants to be the cuckold. However, only half of the cheating husband will be sued by their wife because most wives choose to forgive their husband and they decided to take their revenge on the other woman. So this one for sure will be sued. So you see what's the result? The cheating husband always get away with adultery and women end up being the victims. So this is the second reason for decriminalization of adultery. To sum up my presentation, there are 2 reasons for criminalization of adultery: to secure the family, the harmony in marriage, and to help economically disadvantaged women like June. And there are 2 other reasons for decriminalization of adultery. First of all, this does not secure a marriage. And number 2, in this system, women end up being the victim. Okay? So, my dear friend, do you think that adultery should be decriminalized in Taiwan or not? Something for you to think about.